YouTube, what's the deal? It's your girl Jahira, and I am back. Back with what I believe to be my very first vlog. Now, in the interest of honesty, I have to tell you that I never really knew what a vlog was at all. But I researched it and I looked it up a couple of days ago, and it seemed like a good idea. So I'm going to do one for y'all. And honestly, even elaborating on that point, I kind of said to myself the other day, you know, I come in here and I have no problem, talking about, current event issues. I have no problem doing YQAs, discussing your issues. But I don't think, and I've come in with my confessions and stuff like that and talked about past issues. But I don't think I've ever really come through here and discussed, like, my current issues with y'all. And it wasn't a conscious decision that I didn't do that. It just never really occurred to me that that's something I could do. But something happened. It's always something, right? Something happened I'm a liar, yesterday. And I just feel the need to discuss it with some folk because I'm a little bit aggravated. And for the record, be prepared for this strap to fall down like 11 times. I shouldn't be scratching my back, but it itched. So here's the thing. Okay. Yesterday, I was on Facebook, and feel free to join the lounge, facebook.com/OneLoveLounge. Anyway, shameless plug, y'all. Yesterday I was on Facebook and was just kind of thinking about people that I haven't really caught up with in a while. And there was this one particular guy that came to mind. Now, this guy, okay, this is where the backstory comes in. I can't exactly call him an ex. I do have kind of a propensity for being friends with a lot of my exes, because I try to build relationships with a foundation of friendship so that even if the relationship fizzles out, you'll always have the friendship. I try to be very, cognizant of that kind of thing. And, if I liked you for a reason. And that reason doesn't just go away because we're not together. At least that's the mature way of handling it that I feel like I need to employ, with my own stuff. But I can't exactly call him an ex because we were never, we weren't officially together. But we were unofficially together, if that makes any sense. It was one of those, we spent time together, we bonded, we shared, we, were affectionate in a romantic way towards each other. No, we didn't have sex. We did not have sex. Let me just put that out there. There was no sex. No sex. Although it would have been. Anyway, the point is, we weren't together. Not in the traditional sense. But have y'all, ladies and gentlemen, I'm putting this in, heteronormative terms for the record, but if this can apply to you with regard to a female, please feel free to take what you can from it, and I want to hear from you too. Just know that my pronoun usage is kind of coming from my own perspective, which in this particular instance involves a guy. So, ladies or gentlemen, have you ever dealt with one of those I'm still finding myself guys? I just need to know this. Because that was my situation. You know what I'm saying? We had been friends for a number of years. And he was younger than me. I don't know how significantly. Well, yeah, it was kind of a cougar situation. But, not illegal. And not 21, but it was just, I think we were probably about 8 years apart, or 7 years. Yeah, 7. 7 would make sense. And so, yeah, we had known each other for a long time. We'd always been friendly. We'd always been cool, always said hello. And then, eventually, we had this little flirty thing going, because you know what I'm saying? I'm a big, disclaimer, my language, whatever. I'm a big shit talker. I am. You know what I'm saying? If you throw the ball, best believe I'm going to catch it and throw it back. So it would always be this sort of flirtatious-esque kind of thing going on, right? So eventually we sort of one particular day we kind of crossed over into this whole, wait a minute, are we really being serious here? And at that point, he told me that he had had a crush on me since he was 16 years old, which would have been illegal, but I didn't know about it. You know what I'm saying? And I was just flabbergasted because I really thought that we was just kind of playing this whole time. But then it was sort of one of those moments where it's like, did you? Did you? Do you still? Wow. Now how do I feel? Well, maybe we could, well, why don't we try? And it was one of those. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the way shit goes sometimes. Anyway, so we went out on our first official date. Mind you, this is when I was living in New York City, in Brooklyn. We went out on our first official date, and I have to say, and I will always cherish this memory, it was probably the best first date I've ever had. Ever, period, in my life. We went out to dinner, and I mean, when I tell you, I mean, aside from the fact of the food being freaking phenomenal, like, which is just a factor when it comes to me, the conversation flowed so easily, like, just with such ease, you know what I mean? And like, just a lot of banter, you know, back and forth, and I'm sharing, and he's sharing, and he's listening, and I'm listening, and we're, you know, discoursing and everything like that, and like the drinks are flowing and the food is fantastic and the ambiance is perfect, and it feels like we are the only two in the room. You know what I mean? And then it ends up getting really deep, like really, 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 I mean, and I, like, so past sharing to like revelatory information that the world is not aware of. You know what I'm saying? That he's bringing to my attention, and I'm thinking, wow, you are so brave and you are so courageous to even tell me this kind of stuff, because I mean, it's really, you know, we all have those things, those incidents in our lives, or those, you know, idiosyncratic behaviors that could be really inflammatory, you know what I mean, if it got out to the wrong person, but you're taking this risk by dropping it in my lap. And so I'm going to come and drop something in your lap. You know what I mean? And so now it's kind of entered the realm of, wow, this is really solid. And then we left dinner and we walked around and we're holding hands and the whole thing, and we took pictures and we're kissing and we're laughing, and like, it was just, it was magical. I will say that. It was magical. So damn, wow, I've been talking for a minute already. Fast forwarding to, you know, he was one of those I'm still trying to find myself kind of people. And to elaborate, it was just one of those, you know, I know how I feel about you, but I've got some issues, you know what I mean, that I'm just trying to work out within me. And they really weren't necessarily like his own issues, but like he was sort of, you know, circumstantially dysfunctional, like just his surroundings were not conducive to, you know what I mean, an active, productive lifestyle at that point. You know what I'm saying? And like, my whole thing is just, you know, if I find something or somebody that I deem to be worthy of my time and attention, I am one who's willing to wait. That's just who I am. And maybe it's something that I need to work on, and it's probably something that I'm working through now, because I'm like so, you know, avowed, this is my time, this is me time type shit, that's kind of where I'm at. But anyway, so my whole thing was, at that time, okay, you handle what you have to handle. I know how I feel about you. I feel like I know how you feel about me. You know, I will be patient, and we'll just see how this thing plays out. Well, how it played out, I mean, I can't say that we ever, you know, left off on bad terms, you know, but it just fizzled out. He really wasn't as communicative as I felt he should be. I was in the dark a lot of the time, and you know, when we would get together or see each other, you know what I'm saying, like, by happenstance, because, you know, we have a great deal of mutual friends. We're both a part of, you know, the same scene, you know, the ballroom community and everything like that. I'll get into that video one day, I promise. Like, so when we would see each other, I mean, you know, his whole thing would be, hey, boo, hey, babe, what's going on, da-da-da-da, huggy, huggy, kissy, kissy. And, it's not, I would be happy to see him. And then in the back of my mind, I'm going, why does it have to take me showing up to X, Y, and Z place just to find you? So, okay, that's the backstory. Here's where we're at now. I decide to go to, I gotta think of a name for him. Jesus, wow. It's always when you're on the spot. Carlos. Shit, fuck it. Carlos. So I said to myself, I haven't touched base with him in a while. And in the midst of it all, he's still a great person. You know what I mean? I'm not going to take that away from him. But yeah, I was like, let me check out Carlos's page, leave something on his wall. Just let him know that he's on my mind and that, I'm thinking of him. I go to his page. And now he's listed his relation, and cigarette people. Station break for Smokey. His relationship page did not say single. His relationship page did not say in a relationship. His relation... Did I just say relationship page? Jesus. His status stated that he was married. I mean, and granted, he's not married. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those, we're so deeply bonded that we're going to declare ourselves as married, and everybody really knows what it's about. But he's married to an old friend of mine. Like, somebody who, came to me for advice, and somebody who, cried with me, laughed with me, like one of those, like, that I was, low-key mentoring type people. And, okay, so here's the thing. I know I can, consciously articulate the thought that, I've moved on with my life. I'm not even in his location anymore. It shouldn't bother me. I know this. Like, logic would tell you this. But your head and like the rest of you can sometimes get into a really big argument. And that's kind of what this is. It's not so much the fact that, he's in this new relationship. And it's not it's really not so much the fact that he's in this relationship with somebody that I consider, and I'm not using past tense, I still consider to be a friend of mine, a dear friend of mine. But it's just sort of the frustration that comes with when we were talking, when we, were trying to sort our whole thing out. I just want to punch this computer even thinking about it. Like, you were on this whole, like, introspective, existential journey of finding yourself and releasing yourself from the chains of oppression that surrounded your immediate existence so that you could be a more productive citizen and take over the world. And like, you know what I'm saying? It was just really one of those things. I am attempting to attain consciousness and I cannot be distracted. I can't offer you what you deserve. So please be patient as I... You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, yeah, it was all that with me. And then fast forward to, you know what I'm saying? Like, now you're fine. Now all that's been handled and taken care of. Now every secret, and I mean big secret, that we've shared amongst each other is inconsequential compared to this new person in your life. And if I sound bitter, maybe I am. Shit. Maybe I'm just, yeah, I guess I could be just a little bitter because, I don't know how many of y'all, like, got into Sex and the City, the television series. I mean, for me, it was the freaking, like, anthem to end all anthems. Classic television. I mean, may it never, ever, it will never go out of style because you can always relate to one character or one circumstance. You know what I mean? That's the way I feel. And there was this one particular episode when Berger had left Carrie over the Post-it, with the Post-it. And Carrie was in bed, the club bed. I can't believe I remember all this. But, like, okay, so I'm not going to, like, illustrate the whole thing for you. But the point is, there is a way to move on, you know what I mean, with your life when you know that there are still some, I don't know, when you know you still have to sew up a situation, you know what I mean? When there's still some unanswered questions or perhaps unfinished business, and there's a way to do that, you know, without completely absolving yourself of what I feel are your obligations and just moving on, leaving, you know what I mean, an open berth for people to just stumble upon your new life or your new decisions. And the way to do that, the way to, you know what I mean, kind of sew everything up in the bag and whatever the case may be, is by acknowledging the interaction that you once had with said person, that being me, and appreciating them for the time that they put into the potential of the two of you and wishing them well. And the fact that he did not do that kind of suggests to me that what was so important to me wasn't all that significant to him. Which makes me feel like an ass. And I really hate feeling like an ass. I mean, granted, again, I've turned over this new leaf in my life. And I'm really like stern and very, very clear. Y'all saw the video. You know what I mean? I can't offer myself to anybody right now. I just can't. I have devoted so much of my life to other people. I hate to say it like that, but I mean, really, from the age of 17 up to right here at 32, it's always been about how are you feeling? What can I do to better you? What can I do to help build you up? How can I make you a stronger person? It's always about the other. And I feel to a certain degree that I've sacrificed what could have been my own success for the sake of somebody else's. I know that I have at various occasions. So this is the part where I put myself first, you know, in terms of prioritizing. Well, that's a lie. This is the part where I put God first and me second. But at least I'm second and not eighth. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm dying to get back together with him or get together with him in the first place. It's not like I necessarily need to have some big dramatic conversation about, you know what I mean, his decision to move on with his life. But it's more so about, you know what I mean, how much of a role did I really play? When this was somebody who knew, because in a rare moment of vulnerability, I made it abundantly clear that, you know what I'm saying, I could, like hell, I'm sorry, I'm telling myself that there's no way in hell I'm going to cry here. I made myself abundantly clear that, like, I could see myself with you. I could see myself building a life with you because, I mean, again, when it was good, the synergy was, like, mind-boggling to me. You know, and it's not that I'm wistful for those moments or, you know what I mean, longing for those days, but it's just, if it meant that much to me, the very least I deserved was, hey, this is the situation, you know, this is, you know, I find myself having feelings for them, and I hope that you're well, and I want you to find the same thing, and I love you as a person, and please be as happy as you know, the world and your emotions will ever allow you to be. That would be the right thing to do. And if I'm wrong, somebody please tell me that I'm wrong. I'm totally open to being wrong here. But it was shitty. The way I found out was really shitty. It was just shitty. And this is why these social networking sites can sometimes be such the devil. I went to bed last night and I swear to you, y'all, I was laying horizontal and just praying, God, take it from me. Take whatever I'm feeling right now away from me, because I was like white hot angry. You know what I'm saying? And I just had to ask the Father to remove that from me, because well, first and foremost, I never would have gotten to bed. This is probably the longest video I've ever made, and I'm sorry for keeping y'all this long. But I never would have gotten to bed, and there was nothing immediate I could, you know what I mean? There's no, you know, what am I going to do? Write on your wall, how could you? You know what I'm saying? There's no right way to handle that kind of thing. So I didn't handle it. I just, purged myself of the immediate emotion and promised myself that I was going to make a video today. So that's where I'm at with all of this. This is my whole relationship rant and vlog number 1. And yeah, so I mean, if y'all have been through this, maybe I'll ask y'all for too much or not enough. I don't really know which it is, but I really need y'all to please, if you've never been through this, understandable, but if you have an opinion on it, please say so. If you've been through this, please say so. If I did something wrong or could do something differently, or, any advice you have on how I can better myself from a situation like this, I will eagerly take. Because I've never been in a position like this before, and frankly, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. So, with that being said, y'all, please drop it below, and know that I love you, and I do love you, though. I can honestly say that, because I know you love me, because we have that kind of interaction with each other, and we respect each other. Y'all feel me, right? I'm gone. One love. Rat bastard motherfucker.